Hello, sweet second graders. I am here to talk about what we can expect for this week, April 20th, as we move forward. So I'm going to go through a couple of things. You're going to have two videos from me this week, though. This one, obviously. And then also I have a second video that I'm going to do for you with some shout outs so that you can listen for your names from some things and some learning that was happening last week from all of you. So you turned things into me. Some of you were emailing. We have our class project. So I want to be able to show you and tell you how proud I am of you for doing some of those things and thinking about how awesome you did last week during your week of learning. And so as we move into this week, I'm just going to talk about what this week might look like for you. There's a couple new things. And then in a second video, I'm going to call it my shout outs. And I'm going to shout out your name for doing such a great job for some things last week. So listen to your name if you did something for me last week. And then if you don't hear your name, when you maybe do something this week, maybe I'll share your name with you, okay, on a shout out video. So expect a second video here. But first, I want to talk about kind of what my expectations are for you this week. So in school, every week, I expect you to do certain things, right? And so this online learning is no different than that. I still have expectations for you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my reading expectations and writing expectations for you this week. So for reading, we should be doing kind of like we do in school. We should be doing Lexia at least 3 days a week, okay? 3 days for about 20 minutes each time you sit down. So do it on Monday, on Wednesday, and on Friday, Lexia days, okay? And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or 2 days a week, you can hop on Raz Kids. Now, could you do both in the same day? Of course, okay? But my hope is that you do 20 minutes of Lexia or 20 minutes of Raz Kids every single day, okay? You also need to be doing 20 minutes of reading on a book, okay? Not on a computer screen, but on an actual book or magazine, okay? So with that 20 minutes, some of you might be thinking, well, I don't have books that I really love right now, or I don't know what I should read, or I can't go to the library right now, right, to get new books. So if you and your family would like to go on Scholastic Book Orders and order some new books, okay, I will put in an order for our class. They will get delivered to my house, and then I will come around to your porches and drop them on your porch for you. Okay, so if you're seeking out some new books, and parents, if you feel like you need some books for your child, go ahead and look on Scholastic. And sometimes parents, they even have letters that correlate to their reading level. So we can always look at like what was the reading level. You can look from like my reading club friends, you have that from the last report card, you have their current level. Or if you don't have that level, everybody has a level that I gave them in the fall conference. So I would just bump up probably 2 to 4, somewhere in that range, levels from that. So anything, within that range. So you can buy some books if you feel like you need them, and I'll drop them off to you, okay? So if you're seeking out something to read for your 20 minutes, feel free to look on Scholastic in the email that I'm sending parents on the Google Doc. There will be a link to Scholastic page and the class code that you need to use. I am going to give you this whole week to look through that. Okay, and I will be placing orders next week on Sunday. So that would be, I think, the 27th, okay? So I'll give you till the 27th to place those book orders if you choose. No pressure. Just saying if you need something new, okay? For writing, I mentioned last week that April is the month where we try as a country, our learning focus tries to be on letter writing letters to people. So I want you to try to write some letters to different people this week. One task that I gave you specifically in the Google Doc that you'll see is to write a letter to the mail carriers or people that deliver packages. So I thought, wouldn't it be so cool if you wrote a letter telling your mail carrier or your package delivery Amazon person how brave you think they are for working during all of these crazy germs, and how exciting it is that you can get mail every day and that you can send people mail still every single day because they're working. So I thought that would be kind of a cool thing to do, is kind of write them like a thank you and thanks for being so brave type of letter. So try that out this week, okay? My expectation is that you are writing something every single day, okay? Okay, so with that, you will notice in the Google Doc this week, it looks a little different than the last 4 weeks of learning have. And the reason for that is we got a little more specific. So our second grade class and Mrs. Demas' second grade class are going to be doing the same thing. Meaning we're sending out the same opportunities of learning for all of our kids. So what I want to focus on is that we have broken down some things that you could do every single day. So every Monday, everybody on Monday this week, you could be doing some of the things that I suggest for reading and for writing and for math. There's some Leader in Me stuff going on and some social studies-y science stuff because Wednesday is Earth Day. Okay, so I want you to just think about, I made the Google Doc and there's check boxes, okay? Little boxes that you can put a check mark in, smiley face, star, a sticker, whatever, okay? And your parents maybe have the ability to print it out, and maybe you don't need it printed out. Maybe you just say that you did it and you put a sticker on your hand, or you take a pen and you put a star on it for completing that day. But use those check boxes to think about how it is that you completed each task that day. That will give you some purpose every single day, okay? So I want you to use those check boxes. Like, did you do your 20 minutes of Lexia? If you did it, check it off. Did you read for 20 minutes at some point during the day? Maybe it's 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night, okay? But did you read out of a book for 20 minutes? Yes, great, put a check mark there. Did you work on our class project? I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. If you worked on it a little bit, put a check mark, okay? That way you'll see all of the good learning that you did this week, and it'll make sure that you are in tune to the fact that, oh, whoops, I didn't do any writing yet today, and it's 3 o'clock. I should probably do a little bit, okay? I'm looking at my notes. Is that okay? Okay, math. We have Freckle that we've been using a lot for math, but some of you, I think, are, one, maybe a little sick of it, and two, it's been giving us a few problems here and there for some kids. So we're trying something a little bit different. We're going to try a math program. It's called I Know It, which is new to us. I have never used it before. Mrs. Demas has never used it before, and I doubt many of you have used it, but there is a 90-day free trial right now. So that'll take us till almost the end of summer. It should take us through July here. And so I thought that it would be neat to try it out. So all this information is inside of the Google Doc, but our class code is the same. I kept it the same as the Raz Kids one. I thought that would maybe help keep us straight. So it's G and then the word green. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Your username is your first name. So Benjamin Rue, your username is Ben. Maggie, yours is Maggie. I didn't put Marguerite in there. Okay. Andrew, yours is Andrew. All right. So your username is your first name, and then your password is your last name, okay? So Rosicki is your password if your name is Henry Rosicki, okay? That is what your username and password is. So if you have a problem with getting in, let me know, because it should be G Green 1, 2, 3, and then your first name and your last name, okay? This week, I gave you 5 assignments. I just did the first 5 assignments. They're all about place value and working with numbers, okay? So a good foundational skill to make sure we have continued learning on. So I gave you 5 assignments: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, okay? I would like for you to try to do 1 assignment every single day. They should take between 10 and 15 minutes, okay? That's not that much math. So try that for 10 to 15 minutes. Then you could hop on Freckle maybe for another 10 minutes. There's about 20-ish minutes of work. And then I want you to do some games. This week I suggested 2 specific games for you to play with your family. And just like in Math Stations, we don't just play the game one day and then we never play it again. We usually play it throughout the whole week, at least 2, 3, maybe even sometimes 4 times. So take a look at the 2 games. Play one of them. Last week I gave you the game of Basketball Edition. You could always toss that into your rotation this week. And I'm hoping by the next couple weeks that go by, you'll have a whole slew of games that you can choose to do at any point to kind of do another 20 minutes of math. So you should be doing like 20 minutes between your fact practice, use your fact triangles. Those should be a good 10 minutes to 20 minutes. Your Freckle or I Know It. Try that this week. Let me know how you like it. Okay. Try that for 10 to 15 minutes. And then you should be playing a game this week. Now, maybe your parents are working and you can't play a game right exactly during your math time. That's okay. Play it at a time that you can play, or maybe you play on the weekend. Okay. That's math this week. Okay. Are you sick of listening to me talk? I have a few more things to say though. You know I like to talk, right? Okay. So it is Earth Day on Wednesday. So typically in class, we'd be doing all kinds of fun Earth Day activities to get us thinking about how we can keep our earth clean. So that's what our class project is on this week. So last week, you told me about things that made you happy, things that made you smile. This week on our class slides, I want you to think about one thing that you are going to try to do this week to keep our earth healthy and clean. Okay, and so I gave you an example. In our Google Doc, I gave you lots of resources. There's the Scholastic News on Earth Day that you can read. There is a couple videos to watch. There's a book that I would normally read to you that I found on YouTube that I linked out to you. So you can still listen to that book about recycling and reusing things. There is a Google Slides presentation for you to think about the 3 R's. There's all kinds of learning that's around the Earth Day activities this week. And so I want you to go ahead and use those whenever you have time this week. That's kind of like our social studies and science, but it also is reading, and there's some writing that can be done with Earth Day. And that is part of your class project this week, okay? The last thing I want to talk about is Leader in Me, okay? Last week, you gave me some thoughts about working with others, specifically people in your family that you've been home with. And so we were talking about synergizing. This week, I want you to think about sharpening the saw, okay? What kinds of things make you happy to do? So what are some examples of things that help you sharpen the saw or really help you stay happy? It's hard right now because a lot of times we say things that make us happy are recess with our friends or going to gym class with our friends, right? Or with Mr. Waz. And we don't get those same opportunities. So I want you to think about this week. If you're at home and you're kind of like, Mom, I'm bored. What do you want to do to sharpen the saw? What is it that you like to do at any time you know that when you're doing it, you're happy? Is it building Legos? Is it watching a movie? Is it playing outside? Is it seeing a friend out there but from a distance? Is it riding your bike? Is it eating dinner with your family? What is it that you like to do to sharpen the saw? And sometimes we have to get more creative right now, right? Like I like to sharpen the saw by getting my nails done. They're not done because I can't go get them done. So I had to think of some other ways to sharpen the saw. And so one thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to walk every single day, even if it's cold outside. I'm trying to walk because I really enjoy walking with Charlotte and Hannah, and that has been fun, and that's what's making me happy right now. I'm also enjoying cooking dinner, not the cleanup though. So find things that are helping you sharpen your saw, that are helping you stay happy, and tell me about them. Write about them. That can be your writing this week. And I have some videos and things that you can watch and do to help you think about sharpening the saw this week as well. Okay? I think that's it. I talked for 15 minutes. That's short for Mrs. Green, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. check out the shoutouts video when you have a chance. That will be here. And also we're reading chapters 3 and 4 this week for The Mouse and the Motorcycle. So go ahead and feel free to check those out and answer those questions as well. Another thing you can do for reading and writing this week, okay? Have a great week, second graders. Let me know if you have questions throughout the week. Send me a video of your learning. Send me papers of you learning. Send me whatever you want to send me with your learning. I love to see it all right? Talk to you guys later. Have fun, be good, and don't fight your parents. You need to keep learning. Bye.